Rhodes Show. Turn up your mind.
Growing pressure on the handling of the death investigation of Tyre Nichols after 3 first responders were fired and additional officers are off the job following the release of that disturbing video from the now fatal traffic stop.
We are looking at everybody.
The Memphis Fire Department says 2 EMTs, Jamichael Sandridge and Robert Long, and their lieutenant, Michelle Whitaker, have been fired after failing to adequately assess Nichols on the scene after he was brutally beaten January 7th, dying 3 days later at the hospital.
What our office has to decide is not whether administrative protocols weren't found or whether they didn't do a good job, but whether they actually violated a criminal law such that criminal prosecution is warranted.
Memphis police say in addition to the 5 officers fired and charged with second-degree murder, 2 other Memphis police officers have been relieved of duty and are under investigation, including Preston Hemphill, also a member of the now disbanded Scorpion unit, created to patrol high-crime hotspots. Police say Hemphill was the 3rd officer to respond to the initial scene, seen here on his body camera video released by the city. Later, you can hear Hemphill say this.
I hope they stop it.
The family of Tyre Nichols wondering why there seemed to be a delay in identifying Hemphill, saying in a statement, it certainly begs the question why the white officer involved in this brutal attack was shielded and protected from the public eye, and to date, from sufficient discipline and accountability. But Memphis police tell ABC News it is protocol to immediately release names of officers fired, not relieved of duty. Hemphill has not been charged. The 5 former officers, all black, seen in the disturbing video repeatedly beating and kicking Nichols, giving Nichols more than 70 commands in 13 minutes. As the family prepares to lay the young father, an avid skateboarder, to rest Wednesday, his mother hoping her son's death will bring about change in the police system.
I guess Ty had to be sacrificed in order for the greater good. And so I'm going to hold on to that, and I'm going to hold on to it until I get justice for my son.
So his funeral will be tomorrow, and now we're finding out that there was a 6th officer that was removed, then their 7th officer that was disciplined as well. 2 EMTs and a lieutenant at the EMTs, a lieutenant terminated because apparently she didn't even get out of the truck. I mean, this is so disgraceful and so disgusting and so common. So common. So you can understand why people in this country tend to, want to think the worst of people who are supposed to serve them, people who are supposed to be there for them. But, it's just so interesting that the people that showed up on January 6th, the people that were, willing to do violence, the people that were willing to break windows, the people that were willing to set up a hangman's noose, the people who are willing to have signs to this day that say God and gallows for Democrats, right? The people who are willing to, hunt down Nancy Pelosi or make up conspiracy theories about Paul Pelosi, that they aren't the people who are living in Memphis. They aren't the people who are being killed repeatedly as they move through life unarmed in front of their children. No. I need to show you this. This was an amazing article because this is exactly what I was trying to express yesterday about how the distrust for institutions and the degradation of everything from the House to the Senate to the Supreme Court now, law enforcement, all of it is sold to Americans as being the swamp. All of it is unfixable. All of it must be broken by force, right? This is the Republican position. The Democrats, yes, we're boring. Why? Because we tell you what's at the heart of all this. At the heart of all of this corruption is corruption. At the heart of all of this is campaign finance reform, believe it or not. Stopping the flow of money, to people who pick Supreme Court justices, to people who run for office and do it because they have the money to do it, and not, and people who don't have the money to do it but might be smarter or might be better or might have better solutions, they never get heard. They get weeded out by the money.